Drink Cinema! Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are 2 out of 3 brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
Hello, Brett. How are ya?
I'm feeling a bit, what's the word?
Oompa. It could be, hello, Brett, how are you? Or, hello, Brett.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm not quite sure why the boy that was at various points dropped off or born in a workhouse
Yep.
has such a lovely accent.
A beautiful singing voice.
Yeah, because, spoiler alert, he's that guy's great nephew.
I have thoughts.
But accent is not
No.
genetic.
No.
If you grew up in the workhouse, you'd speak like you grew up in the workhouse.
He's also quite intelligent. Anyway,
Intelligence
we're
can
getting
be
ahead of
genetic.
ourselves.
You know, someone told me today that Taylor Swift has the same IQ as Albert Einstein.
You know who said that?
Who?
A 14-year-old girl.
Probably.
Fucking Swifties.
Also, yeah. All right, we are reviewing Oliver, if you didn't guess by the episode title or the Pars.
Papa.
Here's a little ditty.
That's
they're
enough of that.
singing.
Thank you.
It's going to be in our head. All right,
It
so
already still is.
it is a number of years since Oliver.
Yeah, about that.
55,
55.
1968, which I got right.
Yes, you did.
It's a classic family movie musical.
Yeah.
Family in quotation marks.
Uh-huh.
There are some serious things we're going to cover.
There are.
Slight content warning.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
But
you know
before
what
that,
yeah.
I love an overture.
You too. You know what our version of an overture is?
Yes, actually, I did skip ahead.
You did skip ahead.
Yeah.
It's called a drink.
True.
And this is another Two Drink Cinema original recipe.
Ooh.
And I'm calling it an papa. Because
Okay.
what is the cause of his red shiny nose? Could it be papa?
It's got gin in it.
Gin, because that's what orphans and pickpockets drink.
Yes.
Shampooed lime juice, blackcurrant juice because it was on the shelf, and soda water.
Okay. You joked earlier today and said it had liquor 43 in it.
I said it's. I
'Cause
was
I've
joking.
yeah.
Because I said it's going to have liquor 43 in it because that's how many times they say papa. Like Blink 182 is how many times they say fuck in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Liquor 43 is 43 times they say papa.
I thought
And I did a twist of lime because an Oliver twist.
Ah, yes. It also could be liquor 43 in it because I'm going to have Papa stuck in my head for 43 days.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Anyway, cheers.
Let's try this. It doesn't have liquor 43. Oh, I just smelt the lime because I rubbed the lime on the edge of the glass and then right where my nose was.
It's actually not bad.
It's limey.
I was almost going to put more blackcurrant in it, but I can taste a fair bit of blackcurrant.
Yeah, there's definitely blackcurrant and chambord.
Oh, no, that's pretty good. Quite refreshing. The taste flavours... The flavour profile doesn't quite match the story.
No. What would make it match the
that's
story?
the colour of her dress.
What would make it match the story is if every single person in London suddenly drank one of these drinks.
Yeah.
That would match
Quite well.
the twist production.
Quite
Well, except for one that I'm going to mention when we get to worst extra.
Okay. Oh, I think I know the one. Continue.
Yeah. All right. Shall we talk about the story first?
Let's talk about the story.
So
the
each
original
week-
story that is Papa the musical. I mean, Oliver.
Each week, we dive into both the storytelling and the writing of the movie by myself as a writer, and then you dive into the impact as a person with great impact in your life.
Yeah.
So, I liked the disclosure at the start that says that the screenplay is freely adapted from Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist, which means barely adapted at all.
Yes, that's correct.
It means we've taken the key ideas and then tried to make it into a very happy musical in which a woman is beaten to death.
Yeah. We're going to have 40 minutes of the story and an hour and a half of sing and dance.
It's really hard to write a sad musical, I think. Like, there are musicals in which sad things happen. Like, Rent is a fairly destitute musical.
Yeah.
Not in the poor sense, but it's a bit sad and depressing, Rent.
They're poor on T cells.
It has some moments.
Yeah.
Right? Charles Dickens is known for writing sad novels.
Yeah.
About the depressing Victorian era, because it is London post-industrial revolution, when people that had previously had jobs because they worked a hand plough or some kind of hand instrument that was now industrialised, were now out of work. So this period of time for the common person is tough.
Yeah.
And Dickens wrote that, and it was also quite a difficult time for Dickens himself. He's remembered as this, like, classic novelist, but most of his novels he released in serial form just so he could pay his next month's bills.
Yeah. He's one of those made more money after he died ones.
And, a bit like that. But, so Oliver, the novelisation... No, that's not right, because it was novel first. Oliver the novel is also subtitled The Parish Boy's Progress.
Ooh.
And it was Dickens' second novel and was published as a serial through 1837 and 1839, and then as a 3-volume book in 1838. So it was released kind of 2 or 3 chapters at a time between February 1837 and April 1839, which you can see in this story because it doesn't follow the traditional, like, we meet our hero, something goes wrong, and then we spend the rest of the movie making that thing right.
Yeah.
Because when we meet Oliver, something is already wrong. He lives in the workhouse.
Yeah, and he's eating gruel.
And then Food, Glorious Food, and Oliver happens. Then he asks for more. That's the thing that goes wrong, number 1.
Yeah.
2, he ends up in The Undertaker. 3,
he
runs away from The Undertaker.
Yep.
4, he gets nicked by the cops.
Yep.
5, he gets snatched back by Nancy and Bill Sykes. And just more and more things go wrong for Oliver.
He's got a tough life for a kid.
Yeah. Some would say it's a hard knock life, but that's the wrong musical.
No, somebody would, but we don't. We don't talk.
We don't talk about that. It's one of my husband's least favourite shows. He'll play any show except that little redhead orphan.
Oh,
I was going to say another word then, but that's unfair.
Well, Oliver's not a fun show to do.
I've played it.
It's boring. Well, you would. I don't know. It depends what you're doing, I guess.
No, I didn't play it because I love the show.
You got paid because somebody paid you.
Because it was a bit of fun. Well, not even barely paid. It was really odd. It was a very amateur theatre company.
Right.
Like, I've worked with the amateur theatre companies, but this was like very amateur. And
anyway,
it was kind of like 3 weeks before the show that they decided they wanted a live band and not to just play from the recordings or a piano.
Oh, fuck.
So it was cobbled together of people that kind of knew other people, hadn't really played many shows before. I hadn't actually played the trumpet in 3 or 4 years, but I was like, I'll do it. And then in the dress rehearsal, the director and producer wanted to cut the trumpet from the band because I was too loud.
Trumpets are loud.
Yeah. But also there was only a 7-piece band, so you probably don't want to cut one of the main instruments. Anyway, so Oliver, it doesn't follow that traditional thing goes wrong and we spend the time fixing that thing.
Yes.
Story. Because I think partly because I think that's a bit of Dickens style.
Everybody is shit.
That's the same in a Christmas Carol, right? We have a little bit of the, something goes wrong for Scrooge.
Yep.
And then it's good at the end. But we have mini stories within that. And this is a little bit the same. And you can understand that when he's releasing it, chapters by chapters, essentially. So we get, and then it's very depressing, but then we try to put these songs in.
Yeah.
The children very happily sing about food that they're never going to eat because they're probably going to die in the workhouse.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you reckon they do that every fucking morning?
I don't know.
What are we living for if we live to 84?
They've got their marching down, Pat.
Yeah.
They're
Also,
pretty
if
good,
that's
those
the only
kids.
thing you're eating, mate, just like savor it a bit more. They just chow down on it. Well,
They don't have enough of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also like they don't actually eat it. If you. But anyway, I'm not going to pick on the kids and nominate them as a bad extra, especially the one on the end that was just like it's slopping up his gruel.
That the kids were pretty good.
I thought the kids were all right.
Um,
The sound mixing of this,
yep.
the singing,
Yes.
not great, because
Yeah.
it was like kids singing, but then you heard Oliver's voice being like, "Food, glorious food." I'm like, oh, there's a grown woman singing there.
Hey, Oliver was voiced by Sister Mary Patrick from
Yeah.
Sister Act.
Yes.
No, the kids were good. Yeah, it just starts with songs, though. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
just bang.
straight from Food, Glorious Food, straight into Oliver,
Boy for sale.
Boy for Sale. And then we're
It's
like,
almost opera at
stuff
that point.
happens. Yeah. And I was thinking about probably 2/3 of the way through the movie that the songs aren't necessarily story songs.
Nope.
You know, in a lot of musicals, you get someone singing their feelings
Yeah.
or singing to each other about how much they love each other.
Yeah.
That's not so much the case in Oliver. But then when I look through, they kind of are.
He has a little ballad. Nancy has a little ballad.
Yeah, Where Is Love?
Where? She does that if he needs me.
As Long As He Needs
As
Me.
long as he needs me.
Who Will Buy? I'd Do Anything is not so much. But
You've got
Pick a Pocket.
Ooh.
There's quite a few.
There's a lot of songs.
There's a lot of songs. According to... all right, let's go to Wikipedia, Oliver soundtrack. So there's Food, Glorious Food, Oliver, Boy for Sale, Where Is Love, Pick a Pocket or Two, Consider Yourself, I'd Do Anything, Be Back Soon, As Long As He Needs Me, Who Will Buy, It's a Fine Life, Reviewing the Situation, Papa, Finale, Where Is Love, / Consider Yourself. So that's from the movie. Right, so in total... Well, it's probably about
Viewing? Did you say
45 minutes of music
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
in a 2-hour
Half
film.
of the movie is songs.
You texted me during the week and said too many songs, too long songs.
The songs are too long. Not all of them.
So, Boy for Sale goes for 2 minutes 47, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Food, Glorious Food and Oliver together go for 5:42. Do you want to guess how long Who Will Buy goes for?
11 minutes.
6 minutes 51.
Seems longer.
That's a bloody Meatloaf song.
This is what I was thinking during the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's very much a epitome of old classic musical,
Yeah.
right?
Great sets.
Yeah. And when did musicals stop having big dance numbers that don't mean anything?
Oh, like Who Will Buy?
Like, Who Will Buy? Like, that's the start of Act... And it's the start of Act 2. Clearly
Yep.
start of Act 2.
Yep.
And then it's always like, hey, just give the chorus people a moment while, the mains go have a smoke or something.
Well, or maybe they're still getting their costume changed.
Yeah. So nobody changed his costume really. I suppose he did a little bit.
I just did some quick maths. 50 minutes of music in this.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And 2 of them are Food Glorious Food and Who Will Bite. For about 15 minutes combined.
So Who Will Buy is a long song, but I like it.
Who will buy this wonderful morning?
I like it. The one that goes on for too long.
Is it the one
Will
where
be back soon?
the entirety of London dances?
Consider Yourself does go on a bit long. That's
Too
Consider
long.
Yourself.
Too long. And it's
You know what?
completely unnecessary that everybody dances with this.
You know what it was? Yeah.
I got not enough space. Oh no, I do because
like a
they
little
do it
box step with
out
the
to
arms.
side.
Yeah.
They're marching, but they're not even moving.
That's what what dancing on
also
stage is.
Don't move their legs.
Yeah.
It's just consider yourself. Just very strange. Hopefully, I put that on the TikTok.
You know what it reminded me of? I don't know if this was intentional of the Monty Pythons.
Every
sperm is sacred.
Yeah.
If there was one shot that was just like over the shit part of London, and then we're all doing a big dance down the street.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
If they were inspired by that style of everybody unnecessarily joins in and then just goes back to normal.
Yeah.
Like some people go back to normal during the last note. Like they don't even wait for the song to finish. One's just like, consider yourself one of us. I'm packing my fish now.
Yeah. I've got a customer waiting.
Before the
that's standing
orchestra
there
stops.
Can I get my fish, please?
Yeah.
Maybe they thought they would hold that note for as long as Mr. Pumble holds the end of Boy for Sale, because it's a long note.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
Amanda Bynes in Hairspray long.
I had Harry Seacombe in my head as just this funny guy, but he can sing.
He can sing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
As
if it is him.
As can Mark Lester.
It's not him.
Kath Green. Yeah. No, well, yes, it's Harry Seacombe.
Yeah.
According to
It's everyone else except
Wikipedia.
It's
Oliver Reed. The orchestra is
Oliver
even the
Reed
orchestra.
doesn't sing.
Oliver Reed, guest artist, performer.
He doesn't sing anything. Does he say something?
He must
He
say
doesn't say a
things.
lot. It's not many lines for old Bill.
No. Almost as many as Oliver. What else have I got to say? The novel is much grimmer than the musical,
I would imagine.
but the musical is the musical. The novel is apparently one of the first social novels, in that it was a social commentary.
Right.
Kind of... Wikipedia said satirizing, but I feel like I want to use a better word than that, because satire has a bit of a fun element to it.
Right.
Like Oscar Wilde wrote stuff set in rich, uppity people in order to satirize them.
Yeah.
And Oscar Wilde is funny.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure if this was satire. I feel like it's satire in the same way that Catch-22 satirizes war.
Okay.
Not in a funny way, but in a more in just a social commentary way. Like I
Right.
said before about the negative effects of the Industrial Revolution on the common person. And the intent of the novel was not to romanticize thieves and whores, etc.
Yeah.
But the musical almost does a little bit. Particularly how happily they sing about pickpocketing.
You got the bigger pocket, hot. Yeah. You know what? Maybe they'd have, if they put as much effort into, finding work as they did into choreographed dance routines about being an orphan pickpocket.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd have successful careers. There is no reason why Artful Dodger can't sell a paper or two.
Do you know what? If they'd had Britain's Got Talent in that day,
Oh, God.
and those boys had gone on and pretended to be a horse and cart,
Oh.
golden buzzer.
Golden buzzer.
Golden buzzer.
Simon Cowell would have frothed.
Even Simon Cowell would have loved it. He would have picked 5 of those boys,
then-
Two Direction.
Then it would have come out that I don't know, the teacher's a bit with fiddly with the kids. I'm not.
You just did.
I was going to try talk around it, but I just made it worse. I literally said kid, and fiddler in the thing.
Yeah, yeah. Not Topol Fiddler either.
Yeah, awkward. Cringe. Some moments cringe.
He just, like, he calls them darling. Does he call them darling?
Dear.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but there's a bit of a cringe vibe in that whole thing.
Cringe vibe.
Yep.
Definitely cringe vibe.
I do think Nancy's story is sadder than Oliver's.
I think so too. Because what happens? She gets murdered.
Well, yeah, she gets beaten to death.
I have a question.
But even before that, like, if you look, Oliver, yes, workhouse, yes, somehow survives walking for 7 days to London.
But he got the cart. He goes, I walked for 7 days. You got in a fucking lettuce cart.
Yeah, with the guy that just slept.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
great cruise control.
I love it.
The oldie
That's
cruise
the original
control.
cruise control.
Yeah. You just program your horse.
That's in my notes for impact. Somebody was watching this, went, hang on a minute.
What if the car drove itself?
Smart horses.
Yeah, we're getting there with the self-driving
That's
cars
the original
too now.
AI.
Yeah.
Except not artificial.
It's real intelligence. Yeah, if you just programmed your horse, trained your horse is the right word, to know where London was,
Boop, 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 boop.
then you'd be fine.
In 100 metres, take the next left.
Hey horse, take me to London. Yeah, the story is good, and I kind of like that it wasn't just kind of one arc.
I liked that it was Oliver. Oliver wasn't much of the story.
Yep.
Which we'll get to. Nancy was another story. Fagin was another story. You know, it had they
Bill
were the
had a
three
bit of story. Yep.
Yeah, and then Rich guy didn't need a story.
And
Drunk barrister, magistrate, he didn't need a story.
Oliver got a happy ending. Fagin and Artful Dodger got their own version of happy ending. Nancy and Bill, not so much. Bill deserved it.
I have to, you know what I realised for the first time watching this?
Yes.
I'm still not sure. Is Nancy a prostitute?
I don't know. I feel like that's something that people think is the case, but she's married to Bill.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. But then what is she... I was thinking, is she a prostitute? And then he's an asshole, obviously.
Yep. And she is...
But charismatic
the story definitely is that battered woman thing of... And that's that whole... That's... If I cried, which I didn't, spoiler, as long as he needs me is the song that would get me.
Yeah.
Because...
It's very much like...
She thinks she's going to change
What will
him.
you be doing for your audition today? I will be doing If He Needs Me from Oliver. Oh, fucking hell. Somebody do something different.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if... You know, it's a bit of a joke.
I could think of a few people we went to school with that would have been...
It's a bit of a joke, and you've done a Coralie Stedford, that every young girl sings Castle on a Cloud from Les Mis.
Yeah.
If adult women did a Stedford's, it would be the song that Anne Hathaway cried through in Les Mis.
Yeah.
Or this.
Yeah.
And it is the emotions, and it is the... And it's odd that it's like the story is old, and this is 55 years old, and the stage show is a little bit older.
There's some lines in there that you're like, oh, Jesus.
Well, just the point of that being the case, I don't want to say it the wrong way. This battered woman thinking that she can change him and being in love past the point of her own safety.
Yes.
And this song, as much as Consider Yourself is fun and thieving is fun, that song hits.
Yeah, and also this... Yeah. It's the only one that kind of fits with the vibe of the movie.
The original Dickens vibe of the story.
It's a sad ballad. The other ones are all upbeat. They're in a fucking loft above a swamp. I don't know. I still don't quite understand that.
Yep.
But, and then, let's have a little, I'd do anything. Like, come on. Like, go out and, that's the bit I was like, thank you, Fagin. When he's like, get back to work. I'm like, thank you. You're poor. You've got no money. Get back to work.
A lot of they must be silk handkerchiefs. That's totally not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But they must be, right? Because what's the point of trying to steal someone's handkerchief?
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
it's cotton,
Yeah.
you're going to make a blanket out of it.
But it's free money. Like, but
Start
then what's
quilting.
he going to... Does he have an op shop? Or, like, does he have a store at the Lebanon market? Like, where does he sell this stuff?
He's the fence. Probably sells it at the market. Hit the deleted verse of "Who Will Buy" is Fagin.
It's Fagin
going, "Who will buy this wonderful
my stolen
kerchiefs?
tiara?
Who will buy this crown?
This crown?
What's he going to do with the crown?
Yeah.
Because
Is that sewage
you can't
at the end?
probably you can't sell a crown, right?
I feel that then that's like there's the king was like, somebody stole my crown, and it's like, I have a crown for sale.
Yeah.
Well, there's not many crowns going
It's
around.
like if you stole the Mona Lisa,
Yeah.
you would have to be like black market
Yeah.
to sell it.
Yeah.
Fagin could not sell that crown.
No.
There's no way he could sell that crown and get away with it.
It's not like the guy who stole my car battery at the Lebanon market after they stole it. That's just a car battery. There's hundreds of them going around.
Yeah.
Sure, they've probably got serial numbers or whatever. No, that batteries don't.
No, batteries wouldn't. Just have a
Yeah.
barcode.
So, it's not that. It's legit, like,
It's an actual crown.
like recognizable
Yeah.
paraphernalia.
Like when people steal these big things, I'm like, what are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do? Like if you stole the Mona Lisa, even just for yourself, someone's going to come to your
somebody
house.
has to go, where'd you get
You're
that?
like,
It's a copy.
yeah, I bought it at the Louvre gift shop.
Yeah.
And then did what Mr.
It's a
Bean
tea
does
towel.
in the Bean movie and put the egg wash over it.
Yeah.
And then put it in a really good frame that looks exactly like the one in the Louvre.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nicolas Cage and the Declaration of Independence is written on the back of it in National Treasure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about The Simpsons, where they write something on the back of the portrait of, what's the guy?
George Washington, because that's National Treasure.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Did National Treasure steal the Simpsons story?
I doubt it. The other way.
And then what's the guy that founds Springfield? Jebediah. Thank you. Fucking hell, that's
Yeah.
really bad. And then there's that backstory of him, and he was a piratey smuggler thing, and he stole, and he stepped on the portrait of George Washington.
Oh, and it ripped the bottom off.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No,
Anyway.
it's not that, and none of that is in Oliver.
You know what is, though?
Who
Thievery.
will buy these wonderful children?
Look,
Harry Seacombe can sing. It's a good story, right?
it's a good story.
The songs work within the story. And even the couple that aren't storytelling songs, Papa has no storytelling in it.
No, but it's like...
But it's the distraction.
Yeah.
It shows that Nancy is clever.
she does all right for herself for a pro.
Yeah. Potentially pro.
I reckon she might be.
She was.
Oh, she
Bill-
definitely is reformed pro.
Bill does...
Born again pro. No, that means she is again. Sorry.
No, and reformed means like it was bad and she should have changed lives.
Right.
Yeah. It's I don't know. X. Just say X.
She's a former prostitute.
Former prostitute. Former lady of the night.
Lady of the night.
She might still be, because Bill does make a couple of comments as a way of degrading her by referring to that. And I'm not sure whether it was like past or present.
I feel like she, like, at one point she has made money from helping out men.
She definitely has at some point.
Anyway.
And you don't mean the helping out going to snatch a child from his adopted
Well,
new
I don't know if she got any money for
guardian.
that.
No. So,
What does he do?
thieves.
That's
Bill.
it.
They're just thieves and shaves his chin only.
Also, you know who the best character in the movie is? Bullseye. He's
Dodger.
like, fuck you, mate. I'm turning you in.
It's like, you just killed her. I kind of like
Yeah,
her.
and he's like, you can't, and then he's like, you can't be seen with me, piss off.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, I'll just go to the cops.
Yeah, they were so worried about Oliver snitching. Should have been worried about Bulldog.
Yeah, because the one guy was like, that's Bill Sykes' dog.
Everyone knows Bill Sykes and his dog. It's a good story.
You know what would be annoying?
And what?
Getting woken up in the morning by a woman yelling you about ripe strawberries ripe.
Yeah.
Ripe strawberries ripe.
But you're up. You got to be up and you got to be working.
Milk.
Any milk today, mister?
And then a lot of men cleaning windows.
Not well.
They're more worried about getting a pash from the maid.
You know what, though? They ladder up the thing, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to. All of those windows they cleaned
Cleared.
were French windows.
Yeah, so you go in,
You go in,
open the door.
You go up, you clean the inside and the outside, pash the maid, and then leave. Rather than climb up, sing your little verse, wipe one square of the 16 square windows, then slide back down.
Yeah. It's a good number though.
I like that number because it's got good vibes. I don't have much more else to say about the story other than the way it's set up definitely fits with the serialization of the way he wrote it. Mm-hmm. And it is very freely adapted in tone.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
You have nieces.
Yes, as do you.
If you stumbled upon a child...
Oh, okay. No, would I let them see this movie? No.
If you stumbled upon a child that looked exactly like your niece, would it take you like a couple of weeks to realise? Or would you just be like, that's my niece's face?
No, I would realise that quite quickly.
Yeah. Especially if it was actually your niece's face.
Well, because... yeah. Because...
That portrait is Oliver in a wig.
No, but the way they meet, they are you and I far apart.
Yeah.
When he steals his wallet.
And then later on, it's like, you're coming home with me, which is a bit odd.
Well...
Which is why I thought he knew it at that point. But then it wasn't until he was with his random friend playing chess or something. Anyway.
Yeah. Mrs. Bumble's a bitch.
Oh, don't get me started. The other thing we don't need... So, you know...
3.5 minutes
and then
of one of the songs.
Fagin, and then Fagin and Dodger are like, I'm reviewing at the end, right?
The situation.
And then they run off down to, I don't know...
The swamp.
Yeah, I don't know where they went.
It's like in The Dark Knight. If that's sewerage, they go to where the sewer comes out and find Inspector Gordon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. We don't then need the scene of Oliver going home.
Don't we?
Nah, implied.
Nah, at this time, I think they do it.
A better ending is just those two going off into the sunset together. So, literally, not figuratively, literally, they run off in the sunset together.
But do we see Oliver meet that man again?
He's there with the torch wielding villagers.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'll agree with that.
I know it's only like a minute off the total runtime of the movie, but I just thought a better ending would be.
Yep.
Fagin and Thingy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Good story, good songs, freely adapted.
Freely adapted from a book.
What about the impact of Oliver, ! The musical?
It was a groundbreaking in the fact that it used punctuation.
Yep.
It won 6 Oscars.
Well, I watched the trailer. Well, I found it on first on SBS On Demand.
Okay.
And while I was waiting, it played the trailer. I was loading up the document.
Spoiler alert.
And the trailer was just like, we've won Oscars. We've won Oscars. Come and see the movie that's won Oscars.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the trailer for, well, obviously the not 1968 trailer, but not 2023 trailer. 6 Oscars.
6
for
Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director.
Okay, yep.
And somehow it won production design in the same year that 2001 A Space Odyssey was released. So go figure. The Academy did not like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm just putting that out there. I think it was a bit ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I just typed in 2001: A Space Odyssey O, and the suggestion was Oscar snub.
Ah!
One of your favourites. It won Best Picture. It won Best Visual Effects.
Yeah, that's all. Didn't win cinematography
Well, this
somehow
says
either.
Best Production Design.
Nope.
Oh, hang on. I just clicked Best Production Design, 1969, and it took me to 2023.
That's smart.
Anyway, continue.
It also won 2 Golden Globes for Best Musical/Comedy Film and for Fagin.
Oh, yeah?
He won Best Actor. He was also nominated for Best Actor for an Oscar, as was Artful Dodger.
Oh, yeah. Artful Dodger was good. He was the best kid.
Yeah, he was quite good.
Better than
Didn't do anything after. I think he died pretty young, actually.
better than Oliver.
Everybody knows Oliver,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I think that this kind of impacted culture in terms that it brings the story to a different audience.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I don't read. So
No.
I wouldn't know who's Charles Dickens
You've
is.
made
It wasn't
that
for Oliver.
very clear.
And I think there would be some people that wouldn't know it was a book.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget that they're the same thing,
Yeah.
which is terrible because I'm an author
Yes.
and a movie reviewer, so I should probably be able to connect those
You
two
should.
things.
Really, the only other thing, it gets mentioned a bit, and parodied, as you would imagine.
Like in Every Sperm is Sacred.
Yeah, we're claiming that.
Yep.
In The Simpsons as well.
I'm sure if you asked the Pythons, they'd be like, yeah, we meant that.
Yeah. And in the thing that Principal Skinner tries to sell Jimbo in The Simpsons, in Sings Boy for Sale. Friends, Joey does an audition and he has to sing You've Got to Pick a Pocket or Two. And the other one that I laughed at is from Extras.
Oh, yeah.
Custard! There's that one episode where they're it's a family, like a father and daughter.
Yeah. So it's when...
Singing along, and he's like, "You're not doing it right. It's custard."
That's when Andy Millman... All right, I'm going to write this. I'm just going to write custard on the TikTok sheet.
I wrote in my notes, hot sausage and custard. So I wrote the wrong bit.
It's called jelly and custard.
Custard.
So it's when Andy Millman is doing the panto.
That's right.
And
Yes.
there's the guy in the panto who's definitely not gay.
Yeah.
And
He's got a daughter or whatever.
him and his daughter invite Andy Millman and his friend to her birthday party, which they think is a big thing, but is literally just like grandma, the family, and them.
Yep. I remember that.
And then they do their little concert
Yep.
in the house. And they've worked on this, but then he stops the concert midway to correct her of how to sing custard
Yes.
in Food
And they
Glorious
go back
Food.
and forward, isn't it? She's like, custard. And he's like,
Custard.
custard.
Yeah.
Custard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it. You'll see it on our
Sorry,
TikTok
listeners.
at 2 out of 3 brothers.
Yeah, and I guess that's about it. I think its impact is that I don't know how it won Best Picture. Must have been a slow year.
Well, do you want me to tell you?
Funny Girl.
It's where's Best Picture?
I think it is good. And 60s, they loved a bloody musical in the 60s.
So yeah, it what? Well, this was when it had 2 music categories: original score for a motion picture, not a musical.
Yeah.
And music
Scoring
score
of a motion
music
picture. Yeah.
musical picture, original or adaptation.
Yeah.
So it won that for Oliver, and it won Best Picture. The other nominees were Romeo and Juliet, Rachel, not to be confused with Rochelle.
Yes.
The Lion in Winter,
from London to Minsk.
Milan to Minsk.
Milan to Minsk.
Funny
Lion in
Girl,
Winter is a good movie.
Funny Girl.
It is very different. Yeah, okay.
Babs won for Funny Girl,
Babs won for Funny Girl.
but there's no Oliver competition in terms of lead actress, really.
No.
Because Nancy would be
No-
supporting,
Yeah.
but she wasn't nominated.
She was good.
She was good.
Anywho,
Better actor than Oliver.
Yeah.
Shall we give out some awards?
Speaking of awards, yeah, let's give out some.
Yeah.
I texted you during we were watching it.
Plenty of extras.
Plenty of extras. And you're like, I'll look at them like, Lee, there's
You'll
fucking
notice
dance numbers everywhere.
Okay. The first thing I wrote in Worst Extra, this is the, as mentioned, Andy Millman Worst Extra Award. I wrote, some dancers aren't always in time.
Nope.
But then I wrote, the girl that cries when pushed into the fountain in Who Will Buy.
Oh, right. I
She's
wrote,
just in the middle like,
yeah. I wrote, for Who Will Buy, I wrote the man playing the flute in a tree.
oh,
And I wrote-
sure you weren't watching A Midsummer Night's Dream?
I wrote, because why?
Yep, that's fair.
And he's watching the children. Anyway, I'm not going to get into more Kitty Fiddler. The other ones I wrote were butcher that finds Oliver in the meat. And then he goes in the meat sack thing.
Yeah.
And then the extra's like, oh.
I added one. There's one extra in the big shot of Consider Yourself, and I didn't see this till they looped it in the credits.
Oh, okay.
And he looks like a homeless man,
Okay.
right? And everyone else is like, consider yourself,
Yeah.
our mate.
Yeah.
And he's like, consider yourself, our mates. Consider yourself. And I'm like,
He's out of time.
But also,
completely out of time.
he's watching the person next to him.
Oh gosh, that has to be him. The other person I wrote, which is not his fault, I wrote Fine Life Guy.
It's a fine life.
It's a fine life. And I know that that's how the music is written, how the song is written.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it's done, and it's just one guy. One guy
Yeah.
at the bar. It's fine life. Just like, mate, we get it. You're playing along.
Yeah.
But I think if it's got to be that Consider Yourself.
It's got to be consider yourself, our mates.
Yeah.
All right.
Well done.
And to make it worse, he's looped in the credits. So I missed him the first time.
Yeah, I missed him.
Because it's probably about a 4-second
him
shot
completely.
in a 7-minute song. So that wins the Andy Millman Worst Extra Award. The Best Extra Award, this was tough.
There were quite a few good ones, especially when it was, if you take into consideration.
Can we leave
dances.
this one for last?
Okay.
All right. The Worst Line Award, named after Halle Berry's line in X-Men. I didn't have anything other than potentially Find Life.
I said you can always cover. It's the line about
yeah.
he blacks your eye.
Cover that one till he blacks the other one.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's just outdated. It's not good. I wrote, whenever Fagin calls them my dears, because cringe.
Yes.
And then there was another one in Oliver, the song Oliver. And it's like, grab him, snatch him. And then
Pick
it goes
him up and bounce
yeah,
him.
it's that line. It goes,
Bounce him.
pounce him, trounce him, pick him up and bounce him.
The other one from that song, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
is for some reason Mrs. Bumble decides that the governors will punish the one who named him Oliver.
Yeah.
Why?
For none who named him. Oh, little father. Doesn't make sense.
I think pick him up and bounce him.
Because are you actually going to pick him up and bounce him?
Yeah. No, because his head will crack on the concrete.
God. Just freeze up a bed.
That's true. But
I also wrote
that water wheel's not going to run as fast with one less kid pushing it.
I also wrote, what is the cause of his red shiny nose? Could it be Papa? Just because, what the fuck does that mean?
Papa is more a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a feeling. It's an emotion.
Yeah. It's part of life in that world.
Papa, I think, is a synonym with getting drunk and having it off with your missus.
Getting a bit of Papa.
Yeah, get it Papa, Papa, Papa.
I think you're right.
It is a little ditty that they do in the city.
And I feel like the best way, if you're going to try and engage a whole bar's worth of people, is to talk about getting drunk and having sex. I think even in 2023, if I went into a pub and just started singing about drinking and sex, I reckon everyone's on board.
Well, I think you just said the number one song in the country at the moment, probably. Even the guy in the bar with one leg enjoys a bit of umpapa.
It's umpa for him, though.
Even the...
Oh, I gave myself applause.
That was good. That was very good. Umpa, umpa,
umpa, umpa, umpa.
Jeez. Oh, anyway, what most iconic...
Most iconic scene is him at the pot. Please, sir, and most misquoted line. Please, sir, can I have some more? That's not right. Please, sir, I want some more. Maybe if I'd said, may I have some more, instead of can I?
Yeah.
Very rude, Oliver.
Yeah.
Very rude.
Learn your lesson, orphan.
Yeah. If not, £3 later, you're on the street.
Can I have some more? I also wrote Consider Yourself because, a good dance number.
Yeah, but it's got to be...
It's Please, sir, can I have some more?
Please, sir, can I have some more? I didn't cry. More? He goes like 1 to 100.
And all the kids are like, his name is Oliver.
The kids fully straight under, even though they didn't have them, straight under the bus.
Take that, pretty boy. What, did you come from money?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He may have.
That is their voice.
It's starting to sound like a drag race episode.
Drag Oliver. They did a drag Mary Poppins, so why not?
Most iconic scene is him asking for more gruel.
That is correct.
Did I cry? No.
That's good.
The Tobey Maguire most cryingest meme. Oh, no, we changed that to the Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Something about Mary most cryingest
So,
moment.
who's the best extra?
Oliver.
You fucking idiot.
He is such a minor part of this show.
I know. In serious note, though, I had a few. Why did I just open the Microsoft store? I wrote the guy sleeping on the cart with the horses.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Great.
He's good.
I wrote preset the wedding during Consider Yourself. Because they do the wedding and then cut away and then they
just
skip off.
Join in the number.
Yeah. And they're priests, so you wouldn't think that they would tell children to go away. Little boys are usually pretty welcome. And we're back. Oh, I wrote a few.
Detecting a theme with your review of this movie.
I wrote a few. The woman who gets knocked over by Arthur and Oliver, they go down a slide, and she's there with a basket of fucking bread or some shit.
Probably got a baby in it.
Just knocks over, and she's just like, "Arr!" It was very funny. There's an old man who has a cart that he's selling sarsaparilla.
Oh, yum.
And then the last one...
I haven't had a sarsaparilla in ages.
Yeah, the last one is the clarinet player during Umpapa who has an eye patch.
Oh, okay. That's umpa for him too.
It's... He's right. I don't know. Fucking hell.
Maybe. The priests.
And then I actually wrote one more.
Yeah, okay.
The policeman that shoots Bill.
Yeah.
Good shot. He lines it up.
Oh yeah, and he's moving at the
bang.
He's moving a bit at the time.
It's such a good shot. It doesn't even cause Bill to bleed.
Well, that's probably a censorship thing.
Yeah, well, that's why he bashed her behind the stairs. But anyway.
Yeah. So we just get the idea that she's dead.
Yeah, and then he comes back with red paint, what is obviously red paint on his lapel. I think the guy sleeping on the carpet.
Yeah, I think the guy sleeping on the guy with the first ever cruise control.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to write that in the notes because I'm not going to know what that means in a couple of days. All right. Horse, cart, sleeper.
But you'll know what that means.
Yeah. I'll know what Oliver means, the best extra in the movie. We're going to do a new segment.
We are doing a new segment.
So,
Ba-doo-ba-doo-boo-ba-doo-boo.
oh, It's doing a right error, so I can't play any stings. All right, our new segment is each week we are going to do a top 5 of movies that relate to this movie. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ow.
So me nominating Oliver for Best Extra brings us to the category we have decided this week.
Yeah.
Top 5 movies where the title character is not a main character. So Oliver is very minor.
Yes.
In this movie.
But can I...
He does make stuff happen.
Spoiler alert, doesn't make my top 5.
No, mine neither.
He gets an honourable mention. My honourable mention is Oliver and Bend It Like Beckham.
Okay, so a couple of stipulations I want to have before we discuss the top 5 movies where the main character is not the main character. No, just in my thinking.
Okay.
Right? If the movie title indicates that the movie doesn't relate to that character. Right, so I did a bit of research, right?
Yep.
And on a number of people's lists is Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that indicates to me, the title, that the movie's not about Sarah Marshall.
Oh, so my number 1 might not fit your...
It's about forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Or Waiting for Guffman.
Okay.
Waiting implies he's not there at the start,
Okay.
so he's probably not going to be a main part. But I did give both of those honourable mentions because I like those movies.
Yeah.
All right? My top 5, in order of goodness.
Of the movie.
Goodness of the movie.
Yep. All right. Should we go? You say your 5, I'll say my 5, 4, 4.
I'm just going to I'm just going to move one.
Okay.
Okay.
Mine are a bit left of centre, perhaps, but
Mine
not really.
may not be.
My number 5's very obscure.
My number 5 is Beetlejuice.
Okay. I almost had that in there.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, he's a mainish character for me.
That's why he's in the... That's one of the reasons he's in the 5 slot. Also, these other movies are better than Beetlejuice.
Okay. My number...
I chose Beetlejuice so we can link to our episode reviewing Beetlejuice.
Okay, good. My number 5 is Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
The Bus.
The Bus.
Is in it a lot.
But it's not a character. It's not a main character. There's 3 main characters.
Well, then I was going to nominate the Kane from Citizen Kane.
There was no Kane in Citizen Kane. Very good.
Planet
So,
Hollywood.
yeah, that was my obscure one.
Okay, yep, all right. Mm-hmm. I'll allow it. My number 4 is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ooh, okay.
Because Rocky is literally the name
least
of
main
the thing, and he is just a byproduct of the main character, Frank
That's true.
Furter.
And he's not even like top 4 main character. He's like the second worst one. Well, no, he's better than Columbia.
He's better than Eddie.
He's better than Dr. Scott.
Eddie's song is better, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
My number 4 is Rocky Horror, yeah.
My number 4 is also horror. The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah. The demon is much more of a main character.
He's not in it for like the majority of the movie.
Yeah, like
from memory.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
Until he comes in and stands under that light.
Yeah. And then they go, fuck, that's a poster. That's that. They did a Steven Spielberg, like, that's a good logo.
They did an ET. New Exorcist coming out this year.
Yeah.
Finally. It took them 50 years to make a sequel. My number 3, The Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Okay.
Because he is in the last 8th of the movie.
Yeah.
Your number 3?
If you could show the viewers your shirt.
Oh, yeah. So
my number 3 is Kill Bill Volume 1.
My number 2, Kill Bill Volume 1. So, yes, Bill... But even, right, so Quentin Tarantino says Kill Bill 1 and 2 are one movie.
Yeah, but just Volume 1.
But even if you do Kill Bill 1 and 2, right, and say 3.5 hours...
He's not in that much.
Bill is in very little of it.
And he dies.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So,
he kills Bill.
But that is borderline on my... But I guess if the purpose of the movie is to kill Bill, it's not waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
Or forgetting / moving on from Sarah Marshall.
Okay, so your number 2 is Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, yes.
My number 2 is Rebecca.
Okay.
She's not even in it.
See, there were a couple that I thought they're not even in it.
She's not even in it.
But
She dead.
maybe I don't do that because they're not in it. You know, like
The title character of the movie is a minor
is
part.
not the main character, is our category. Okay, all right, I'll allow it.
Yep.
My number 2 is Kill Bill.
Yes.
Okay, your number 1.
The Wizard of Oz.
Okay,
Based on the goodness of the movie.
my number 1,
Yeah.
The Godfather.
Oh, I almost had that in there, but I was like,
Well,
he's
it's one of the things we've talked about a lot on the podcast.
Yeah.
The fact that he was nominated
Yeah.
for a movie that he's hardly in.
Yeah. He's a main character, though. That's why I didn't put it in. It's the same reason why I didn't put Beetlejuice in, is because he is a main character in the movie.
And there is this thing of like, do you count main character as their impact on the story or the amount of screen time?
Yeah.
Because Oliver has an impact on the story,
Yeah.
right? Nancy is not going to steal back a child from this guy if Oliver isn't the child that's in the house.
Yeah.
So all of those things are triggered by
And
Oliver's
also-
person. And the same, I guess, for The Godfather with Brando.
Yeah, if he didn't have a good singing voice as well, she'd be like, I can't listen to that.
Yeah, she'd be like, fuck that guy.
Where's
String him up.
Throw him in pick him up and bounce him, for fuck's sake.
All
That's a
right.
good top 5. The other top 5s we're considering was top 5 songs from a musical that are too long, but then all 5 for me probably would have been from Oliver.
Yes. We also discussed a few other things.
Musical dance numbers.
Top 5 movie musicals where the lead doesn't sing.
Yes.
He has
We'll
one.
save that for later.
He has one song.
There's a few.
I got top 5 family movies that are darker than you remember. There's a few.
I know number 1 is one we've reviewed in the past for me.
Oh, yeah, bloody...
Yeah.
Jeez.
Small Soldiers.
And we did... I first suggested top 5 movie musicals, but...
Very broad
too
category.
Broad, too broad. Okay, so that is... there'll be future lists that will be on our website if you want to know about that. Next is a contrast.
Oh, yes.
And the
Movie
next
we're doing
movie
next week.
is a contrast. It is 30 years old in October of this year, 1993.
Hocus Pocus.
Winter Olympics related.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Can you name another Winter Olympics related movie?
I, Tonya.
Fuck. Eddie they did an Eddie the Eagle one, didn't they?
Yeah, and
with
surely
Sharon
they do a
Edgerton.
Stephen Bradbury on Channel 7
I
when they
mean,
go
why
through their
haven't
bloody...
we had a underbelly Stephen Bradbury? You know what the next underbelly is, though?
What?
Underbelly mushroom.
Oh, Underbelly Death Cap. Yeah, Underbelly Mornington.
What a specific...
Do you reckon we can do a 6 degrees from Cool Runnings to Oliver?
Oliver Reed, we have to go with.
Yeah, Oliver Reed
was
to
in
Russell
Gladiator.
Crowe.
Cool Runnings.
No. Oliver Reed was in Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix.
He's in Cool Runnings, John Candy.
John Candy gets us to...
Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Steve Martin. He was
Joaquin
in
Phoenix.
Blues Brothers.
Who was? John Candy was in Blues
John
Brothers.
Candy was in Orange Whip.
Orange Whip.
Orange Whip.
3 Orange Whips.
So then that could get us
who
to
else?
Dan Aykroyd.
The Illinois Nazi. Surely we can say Dan Aykroyd was in an episode of SNL hosted by someone that was Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know.
John Candy was in Cool Runnings, and he was in Blues Brothers with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And say Dan Aykroyd was in...
See, like...
Driving Miss Daisy with Morgan Freeman. That opens up a lot of movies.
Hang on, you can get... Hang on. Okay. Was Lost in Translation Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray?
Yes.
Okay, so then we have John Candy, right,
Bill Murray.
to Bill Murray in Something Together. Or
Surely.
John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ghostbusters. Right?
Yeah.
Then Dan Aykroyd to Scarlett Johansson.
You mean Bill Murray to Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, Bill Murray to Scarlett Johansson, Lost in
Yeah.
Translation. Scarlett Johansson to Joaquin Phoenix in Her. Joaquin Phoenix to
No.
Oliver Reed.
Her?
Yeah.
Oh, she was the voice of the
she
computer.
was the voice, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done,
That
Lee.
was actually easier than we thought
That was
it
good.
would be.
Thank
Yeah?
God Oliver Reed was in Gladiator, or we'd be screwed.
Yeah, that's the great thing when we have someone like stupid old.
And thank God that
Like when we did Some Like It Hot, we had to go like, okay, Jack Lemmon was in JFK.
Yeah.
So we got that whole way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That
thank
was
God
good.
there's a lot of people in Gladiator that have done a lot of things. Namely,
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. And thankfully, Scarlett Johansson has done a little bit of comedy and drama. That's what kind of got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Cool Runnings. Fuck, what a change.
That's in for Oliver.
We've gone Sharknado.
Yeah, this
Oliver, Cool Runnings.
This month starts with Oliver,
Gosh.
goes to Cool Runnings. There's a couple of good ones coming up. Just so if you've listened to
nearly
us
at
so far
Halloween.
and just thought, fuck, I've had enough of these guys, don't,
Yeah.
because we've got
We're
some
just
good
getting
things.
started.
We've got some good things coming. All right, that was Oliver. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all those things that you're meant to do and tell your friends. Thank you, Brett.
See you later. Jeez. Thanks for listening to Two Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcasts, either leave a tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.